First of all, I want to thank my coaching staff, Joselyn, Ellie, Ashley Schilling, and Juju Jimenez, just for all the work they put in with our recruiting class this past year. If it wasn't for the effort they put into this, I guess we would not be in the situation that we're in right now. So I just want to thank them personally and publicly as well. And also congratulate all the programs here at NDSU, just because it is an exciting day. You kind of get that, you can get that vibe. I know Colleen's probably busy bright and early in the morning at 7 a.m. probably in here getting all the letter of intents and stuff like that too. So thank her for everything, and also congratulations to all the programs here on campus. We have three young ladies that we committed here have committed this morning. I'll start out with Katie Shipman. Katie is she's going to probably be a utility player for us from Minot, North Dakota. Katie actually came to camp here probably about a month and a half ago and just opened her eyes up a lot. I mean, hit the crap out of the ball. Big lefty stick hitter, very athletic. She's a 3-sport athlete. She's played volleyball, basketball, and it's a huge upside. Getting a chance to know her kind of just blew me away, I guess, when I talked with her on the phone after about a week or so after camp, and just her character, who she is as a person, her work ethic, knowing that she's a very athletic young lady. She's only played softball for 4 years, and I think that's something that really says a lot when you have somebody that's going to come in here and play Division I softball, and really is her swing has developed a ton, and a lot of power, somebody that we kind of see as a huge upside that really I think is going to be a good left-handed bat for us in the future. And talking with her as well, she's somebody that we're probably going to find maybe first base, catching, outfield. She's athletic enough to throw a position out there, but we really don't have one set for her. But just really excited to have Katie in our program. And also the next two, we have a couple of pitchers here. Ellie Peterson. Ellie committed to us. She's from Wisconsin. Probably, I think, about a year now that Ellie's been committed to us. Huge upside. I mean, you can look at her numbers in Wisconsin. She has tons of strikeouts per inning. She's ranked as one of the top prospects in the state, if not in the Midwest this past year. Very athletic as well. Used to play basketball, just kind of finished that up to focus on softball a little bit. Good rise ball, drop, and change. Velocity's hitting low 60s. Somebody that we, again, had up at camp and had a chance to kind of evaluate. And the thing that's really I've been excited about her is she's actually now upped her level of play and is now playing with a different team at a higher level of competition. I think that's really going to help her as she comes into college, knowing that she's getting that experience playing against more Division I athletes than she probably was with her previous team. And then our third signee is Joselyn McClary. And Joselyn, again, is another pitcher. Listen to Jory talk. He never met her. She's 6'2", so I'm kind of a little concerned there. She did meet Jen Lopez, and because Jocelyn's a 3-sport athlete for Egan High School. Played outside for outside hitter for volleyball. I think she's a 4 for basketball, and then she's a pitcher for us. And so excited for her and the upside. Talking with her, and actually for a lot of them, but they just haven't spent a lot of time in the weight room. And when I look at Joselyn for her, just knowing, okay, you're spending your time on 3 sports, haven't really had a chance to lift weights. I think she has a tremendous upside as well. We saw her a lot this past summer, and one of the things that really stood out for me is when you go to this big college, in Colorado, there's a big tournament, and it's very similar to what USA Wrestling is here in Fargo. You get every coach in the country, you get every team in the country going to Colorado, and obviously you get in the high elevation, and so there's a lot of home runs, a lot of balls that should be fly balls that are home runs, and I was watching Jocelyn playing a game, and she had 10 strikeouts, and you don't see that in Colorado, And so following her along a little bit after that, you can see that she's a strikeout pitcher, and be able to do that in Colorado and to continue to do that throughout the rest of her summer season and even into this fall. That's something I think has a very exciting time for her as well. So very excited again to add those 3 young ladies to our program, and open up to them if there's any questions.
Looks like on paper, stocking up the pitching staff was a focal point. How much of a focal point has that been in the recruiting trail as of late for you guys?
Yeah, it is. We weren't necessarily going in looking for 2 pitchers in the class, but, when you get 2 opportunities for Ellie and Jocelyn to come to our program, that's something that we really kind of changed our philosophy a little bit. And our sport's turning a little bit into baseball with all the analytics and the matchups and the times that, 1 time through the lineup or 2 times through the lineup. So it's good for us to kind of give different looks, and they both kind of can offset each other as well as the rest of the staff that we have here. So it's something that we're kind of putting a little more focus in.
Hey, Coach, with Katie, you get a utility player. How important is it that you have someone that can fill multiple roles, especially if you guys have to deal with injuries or wanting to see a different lineup?
Yeah, that is big. And kind of just like I mentioned, even about the pitching side of things. I love lefties. I mean, I'd love to have 9 lefties in our lineup if we could, but it's a matter of sometimes we want to, you have to have a right-handed matchup, and you have to have people that are a little more athletic and a little bit more versatile. And we've seen that the last few years, especially with injuries and overuse and a lot of different things. And that's something for all three of them. I'm really excited because they're not overused as softball players. You know, they're three-sport athletes. You don't see that a whole lot nowadays, and I think for them, they all have a huge upside because of, I think they should hopefully be a little more healthy and their bodies can kind of translate to focus on one sport in college.
This class seems, or this signing class seems pretty close to home as opposed to, normally we see some Californias mixed in or maybe even a Texas. Was there a focal point to kind of stay closer to home, or is it just kind of how chips fell this year?
Yeah, and we're not done yet.
Sometimes with baseball, that pitchers who are just taller, you can get the arm closer to home. I think with Joselyn being 6'2", is that anything different with just a taller pitcher in softball?
Well, we have Piper that's 6'4" for us right now, so it is a little bit different because they kind of jump out at you a lot faster, and a lot of it depends on your leg drive and the mechanics that you have and stuff. But it definitely is something that you see a lot of the Power 5 or 4 schools have a lot of taller pitchers and stuff, and it is something that is can be to your advantage. But it doesn't matter just because if you're not tall, you can still be successful as well. I mean, Paige Vargas for us was 5'5", and had a great career. But yeah, it is something that kind of stands out a little bit.
In this past season, you and I talked about how, young team, a lot of development. How important is that this new recruiting class coming in is part of that whole youth movement that you've been seeing with the Bison?
Well, the nice thing for these three is they don't have to come in here and play right away. And I'm not saying they don't have the opportunity to play right away. But, we're going to have next year we'll have 3 junior pitchers and we'll have a senior pitcher, so then you have a little more experience. And so there's not like a rush for either Joselyn or Ellie on the mound to have to come in and take up innings right away. But I think for them, it gives them a chance to develop. It also gets some of those innings. So it's nice for us to kind of start building towards next year, but also towards the future for them.
Like today, like for you, is it after seeing that they've signed and now that you're able to talk about them, is it a little weight off your shoulders a little bit?
I was actually just talking to Matt Larson about that this morning. It's exciting for us. It is. It's kind of went to the staff. We went to lunch this afternoon just to kind of spend time to celebrate a little bit because we don't really always see each other this time of year. But to be honest with you, I have tons of calls to make for the next class, and coaches contacting me for the next class, and it's a very short-lived celebration because of the next class that we're continuing to recruit. So it's not like the old days where we could go out there and have fun and celebrate and get the football staff and everybody signing the same day. It's constant recruiting, but it's still an exciting day for us.